Oh hi. Yemen, the state in Southwest Asia located in the south of Arabian Peninsula. The population, following the results of a census of 2011, makes more than 25 million people, the territory minus 527,970 km. Also the 49th takes the 49th place in the world on population, on the area of the territory. The capital, Sana'a, Aden and Sion. State language, Arab. Unitary state, Presidential Republic. Since August 2016 the managing director of the Republic Yemen is Aab Rabah Mansur Hadi. It is subdivided into 22 governorates. The state is called from the Arab word ayant. Right on the right. Emergence of the name is connected with the ancient system of orientation in which the east was front side and the south right. If in Mecca, at a sacred stone of the Kaaba to get up facing the east, then Yemen will appear on the right in the south. Strabo, Pliny and other Greek and Roman authors called Yemen by Arabia Felix, Happy Arabia. Sometimes translate as Fertile Arabia. Yemen is located in the south of Arabian Peninsula. It is washed by waters of the Red and Arabian Seas of the Indian Ocean. Has overland border with Oman in the east and Saudi Arabia in the north. The northeast of Yemen is covered with the heated stony desert where the rain doesn't drop out for years. In the Yemen mountains separating this desert from the coastal plain plentiful rains spill every winter. Yemen, one of the most ancient centers of a civilization. The most ancient states known to modern people in the territory of Yemen were Katabang, Hadramaut, Main, Sabiskoy and Himyaritskoy of the kingdom. In the 4th century all Yemen was united by Himyarita. At the end of the same century Himyaritsky Tsars accepted Judaism as the state religion. At the beginning of the 6th century Yemen got under influence of the Aksum kingdom that led to his temporary Christianization. At the end of the same century Yemen was conquered by Sassanidsky Iran. 628 Islamic gain. In the 9th-12th centuries Yemen was under the power of the dynasties competing with each other. Ziyadadaf 820-1017 Yafuradov 861-994 Nadzakidaf 1021-1159 Suleykadaf 1038-1098 Hamdanadaf 1099-1174 Makdadov 1137-1174 Zaradov 1083-1174 and Suleymanidaf 1138-1161-1196 App 1281 897 The basis of the Zaydi Imamat in the north of Yemen led by a dynasty Rasidaf 894-1301 1173 Invasion of the Egyptian troops 1184-1229 Yemen, a vassal sultanate Egyptian Ayyubidaf 1229-1454 Reunification of Yemen under the power of a dynasty Rasilidaf 1454-1517 Yemen under the power of a dynasty Takiridaf 1538-1635 The First Ottoman conquest of Yemen In the second half of the 18th century, the Imam of Sana'a dominated over 30 provinces. In 1872, Turks occupied Yemen again. Northern Yemen gained independence of the Ottoman Empire in 1918. On February 17, 1948, as a result of military takeover of family of Al-Waziri, the King Yahya bin Muhammad Hamid ad-Din was killed. On September 18, 1962, after the death of the King Ahmed, the new king proclaimed Prince Muhammad al-Badr. Having used current situation, on September 26 army parts committed a military coup, overthrew the theocratic monarchy and proclaimed the Yemen Arab Republic. After the anti-monarchical revolution in the country, 8 years civil war between royalists and republicans began. In 1967, the southern Yemen, which was the British protectorate since 1839, gained independence. The leadership of the southern Yemen, Endri, accepted at first Nasseristski, and in 3 years in the pro-Soviet orientation. The next 2 decades passed in fierce fight between two states. In 1992, conflicting countries united to the Republic of Yemen. In 1994, in the country, civil war broke out again. On May 21, the former leaders of Endri proclaimed in the south the independent state, the Democratic Republic Yemen, but in July the armed performance of southerners was depressed North Yemen Army. In 1995, Eritrea challenged accessory of the archipelago of Hanish with Yemen. In this connection between the states there was an armed conflict. His diplomatic relations with the Russian Federation are established with the USSR on October 31, 1955. In 2011, in the country, revolution broke out. Since 2014, there is an armed conflict between Shiite group, Ansar Allah, and government forces. In March 2015, part in war was taken by the coalition of the Arab states led by Saudi Arabia on the party of the government of Yemen. Since 2014 in Yemen there is a military conflict between insurgents Houthis and the coalition headed by Saudi Arabia. As a result, this country endures the humanitarian disaster. Thousands of civilians died of hunger. According to the estimates of the Save Children organization, which used the database of the Union, in 2015-2018 85,000 of not reached 5-year age of children died as a result of heavy sharp insufficiency of food. English severe acute malnutrition. By estimates of the Union, about 14 million citizens tested risk of starvation in 2018, nearly 4 years of the massacre resulting there. Population minus 24 million. 2011. Annual gain minus 2.7%. Fertility minus 4. 8 births only woman. Life expectancy is 61 years at men, 65 years at women. Urban population minus 31%. In 2008. Literacy minus 50%. 70% of men, 30% of women. Assessment of 2003. Ethnic structure, generally Afro-Arab mulattoes, and it is insignificant. Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis. Division of a part of Yemenites into several dozens of tribes and breeding confederations is of also great importance. In the north of the country, breeding confederations and the tribes of Beni, Beni Haris and others, and in the south tribes of Asubaika, Hausaba, Amira, Yafa, Fadla, Olaki and others are influential. The educational system of the country suffers from the shortage of teachers. The head of state, the president elected since 1999. Direct universal suffrage for 7 years. The President Ali Abdallah Saleh was a head of state from 1994 to 2011, to this position 3 times. However, because of events of the Arab Spring and attempt in 2011, I resigned. In February 2012, for a term in 2 years, Aab Rabbi Mansur Hadi was elected the president. He resigned after the beginning of the conflict of 2015 with Houthis, but then changed his mind. Further, Muhammad Ali al-Husi is the chairman of the Revolutionary Committee formed in Sana'a, became the actual head of Yemen. Hadi ran to Aden, where his government began to sit. In August 2016, Salah Hassamat is the chairman of the Supreme Political Council, became the managing director of the country new de facto, and after his murder the country was led by Mahdi al-Mashit. The government of national rescue is headed by Abdul Aziz bin Salah Hastar. 2-chamber parliament Shura Council 111 dicks are appointed the president, and the House of Representatives 301 deputies are elected by the population in April 2003 for 6-year term. 5 parties are represented. The General National Congress, the party of the President Ali Abdallah Saleh, has the majority in the House of Representatives -238 places. The Yemen Association of Reforms, ISLIC, religious party of the Sheikh Abdallah bin Hussein al-Akmar, who many times held posts of the Prime Minister and Speaker of Parliament -46 places. The Yemen Socialist Party, the former ruling Marxist-Leninist party of the southern Yemen, the leader Yassin Said Newman, with 2005 Tuim Ali Salahabat Makbul -8 places. The National Organization of Nasserist of Unionists -3 places. Party of the Arab Socialist Revival, Ba'ath, the pro-Syrian fraction of party -2 places. Non-party -4 places. Yemen, one of the poorest Arab countries. DDD per capita in 2009, $2.5 thousand. It is less from the Arab countries only at Sudan and Mauritania, and in general this 173rd place in the world. The economic welfare of Yemen depends on production and export of oil. 70% of revenues of the state budget, which stocks are reduced. The foreign help is of great importance. Only in 2012 Yemen received from Saudi Arabia $3.25 billion. In 2006 the authorities of the country began carrying out economic reforms. Involvement of foreign investors for diversification of economy. For 2009 approved reserves of natural gas of Yemen made 490 billion cubic meters. At the end of 2009 the first line of the plant on liquefied natural gas production located near Bakhaf port in the south of Arabian Peninsula was started and his export began. The main consumers, South Korea and Shah. Agriculture. 10% of GDP, 75% working. Grain, fruit, vegetables, beans, coffee, cotton. Dairy products, cattle. Sheep, goats, cows, camels. Bird. Fishery. In valleys, on terrace-urban hillsides, farmers grow up cotton, fruit and vegetables. Other Yemenites are fed with fishery. Many also replenish it and trade in the products on markets. The industry. 51% of GDP. Production and oil refining. 25% of GDP. Small textile and tanning enterprises. Food industry. Manual crafts. Small aluminum smelting plant. Production of cement. Repair of small vessels. Services industry -39% of GDP. Export in 2017, $501.2 million, crude oil, coffee, dried and salty fish. The main buyers, Egypt -29.4%, Thailand -16.7%, Belarus -13.5%, Oman -10.5%, the UAE -6.5%, Saudi Arabia -5%. Import in 2017, $4.573 billion, food and live cattle, industrial and chemical output. The main suppliers, the UAE -12.2%, China -12.1%, Turkey -8.7%, Brazil -7.3%, Saudi Arabia -6.5%, Argentina -5.5%, India -4.7%. External debt -$7.252 billion. For December 2017. Holidays. 10 Zulhijjah of the Eid al-Adha date change according to the lunar calendar. 1 Eid al-Fitr date changes according to the lunar calendar. 2 1 Muharram date changes according to the lunar calendar. 27 Isra date changes according to the lunar calendar. 12 Rabi al-Awwal Mawlid an-Nabi date change according to the lunar calendar. January 1 New Year. May 22 Day of National Unity, Day of Reunification of Yemen. September 26 Day of Revolution of Northern Yemen of 1962. October 14 Day of Revolution of the Southern Yemen of 1962. November 30 Independence Day. Saba. The Yemen News Government Agency. The state broadcasting company Yemen TV includes Yemen TV channel and radio stations Sana Radio, Aden Radio and regional public radio channels. Internet access in Yemen is provided by Tel-Ayman and Adenet providers. The Yemenet provider was occupied by insurgents, therefore the Adenet provider was created. The vast majority of residents of Yemen Muslims. 99%. A little more than a half of the Yemen Muslims are Sunnites of Shafi'i sense. In the country there are supporters and other legal schools, Hanifite and Malikita. In Yemen the large community of Shiites, 8 to 10 million believers, is concentrated. Most of them Zaydis. Religious minorities are presented by Christians, 41,000. Jews, Hindus, 155,000. Zoroastrians, etc. Among Christians, Protestants, 30,000 are most numerous. Protestants are presented by several faiths. First of all, it is Pentecostals, 7,100 in 2000. The number of Catholics is estimated at 6,000 people. Among natives of Ethiopia and Eritrea, there are supporters of Drevnevostokny Orthodox churches, Ethiopian and Eritrean. In Yemen, cases of prosecution of Christians are regularly fixed. Among natural and cultural sites of Yemen, 4 are entered in the World Heritage List by UNESCO.
In the desert of Yemen in Wadi Hadramaut, there is an ancient, surrounded with a clay wall city of Shibam entered in the UNESCO World Cultural Heritage List in 1982.
He is called by Manhattan by deserts because of his high matassis. The city, built in the 16th century, is one of the oldest models of the city planning based on the principle of vertical construction. Sana'a, the capital of Yemen, is considered one of the oldest cities in the world. Sana'a became the main Islamic center of the country in the 7th century. In the city there are 103 mosques, 14 hammams, traditional baths, and more than 6,000 houses dated till the 11th century. In connection with all this, the old part of Sana'a is entered in the UNESCO World Cultural Heritage List in 1986. Near the coast of the Red Sea there is a historic town of Zaybud, entered in 1993 in the World Heritage List.
It was hammered with the capital of Yemen from 13th to the 15th century, and nowadays is an important archaeological and historical site.
He played an important role through many centuries. His university was one of the main education centers of all Arab and Islamic world. The last of all miracles of Yemen, the archipelago of Socotra, was included in the World Heritage List.
Mention Marco Polo in the 13th century. This remote and isolated archipelago consists of 4 islands and 2 rocky islands in Gulf of Aden.
The archipelago has extremely various flora and fauna. Endemics are 37% from 825 plant species, 90% of species of reptiles. The island are the house for 192 bird species, 253 types of corals, 730 species of coastal fishes and 300 species of crabs and lobsters, and also the homeland of the well-known Socotra tree. Volcano Sinnabari. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.